I believe that the issues confronting us cross party lines. Our national debt is 1.5 times bigger than all the combined debts of all the nations of the world. And yet our government continues to spend more than the government takes in. Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the founding fathers. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. And regardless of their sincerity, their humanitarian motives, those who would trade our freedom for security have embarked on this downward course.
14 million Americans are unemployed right now.
The national unemployment rate of about 9.5% sounds incredibly high, and of course it is. But it doesn't nearly capture the depth of the trouble. It doesn't count the people who've seen their hours cut to part-time. It doesn't count the people who've quit looking for work. If you add all of that together, the unemployed and the underemployed, it's not 9.5%, it's 17%.
The total is 25.7 million Americans looking for work, or 1 in 6 workers.
The new unemployment report came out today. 131,000 jobs lost last month.
This really was a very bleak jobs report. Unemployment rate up, the number of unemployed Americans up, average hours worked down, average hourly pay slightly down. As one economist put it, stop looking for the silver lining. There isn't any.
Did you know the U.S. has the greatest fossil fuel reserves in the world? That's because of shale gas.
We have twice as much natural gas in this country, is that what you're saying, than they have oil in Saudi Arabia?
I'm trying to very clearly say exactly that.
But a new state report shows the industry has created new jobs, lots of them, tens of thousands.
After bouncing from odd job to odd job, former Marine and father of 3, Lucas Meston, says he's finally finding a career.
The capability of making some serious money is right there in front of you. You just have to want to go after it.
Going right out the door. As soon as we're done, they're getting jobs.
Rector Joe Ionetti says 95% of his graduates are finding work and making an immediate $70,000 to $80,000 a year. The State Department of Commerce reports that the Marcellus shale industry hired 48,000 new employees last year. There's no disputing the fact that a lot of people are getting jobs in a region that's been looking for new jobs for quite some time.
Employment's just grown considerably. Money's spent in the communities again, and I think it's just been a benefit to this whole area.
Even more natural gas-related companies are employing hundreds in the Montgomery area near Williamsport, and local business leaders say the jobs are sorely needed.
Drilling for natural gas in the Marcellus Shale is helping homeowners become rich. It's helping businesses expand. This town is booming.
This town is booming.
Just 2 years ago, unemployment here was over 10%. Now it's the state's lowest. There are many people who don't have jobs here in Philadelphia. They're going up to the shale region, and they're truck drivers. They're drilling. They're on these drilling rigs. This has the potential of having all the oil in Saudi Arabia. That's the impact, and there may be even more gas than that.
Basically, it saved my company from going under and my home from becoming a statistic.
I think it's enlivened us again.
Pennsylvania currently has enough gas production that it can be energy self-sufficient and even export gas. In 9 years' time, it should be able to supply 1/4 of this country's total natural gas needs. It's also been creating jobs. According to the State Department of Labor, 72,000 jobs have been created by the gas industry in just the past 18 months. And the Penn State report says this year, 156,000 jobs will somehow be impacted by the gas industry. And it has lowered costs to consumers, according to the report, by 12.6%, resulting in a savings of $633 million to businesses.
The optimistic projections that were made last year have been blown away.
Experts are predicting the Marcellus shale industry will be around in western Pennsylvania for at least the next 50 years. Thousands of people will be needed to work here.
I believe natural gas drilling will help preserve our area, keep the open space open, provide jobs, revenue.
As many as 90,000 new jobs by the end of the year last year.
And the process is a quick one. A spokesman for Pumpco says some of the people interviewed here could be on the job in as little as 2 weeks.
Marcellus Shale is picking up steam, generating tens of thousands of jobs and transforming this region's economy.
At current rates, the Marcellus Shale formation will become the leading supplier of natural gas in the United States, producing a projected 1/4 of the nation's supply. It is the biggest economic news in a generation and will only get bigger.
Clearfield County officials say the economic impact and the job growth from those wells goes far beyond the gas companies. In fact, they say it takes the work of 150 businesses to build a well, everything from trucking companies to excavation companies. They're calling the Marcellus Shale boom a godsend.
Executives with V&M's parent firm, Vallourec, have said they opted to expand their Youngstown operations to take advantage of the anticipated growth in oil and natural gas exploration.
An industry group took to the state capitol to remind lawmakers and the public how many jobs are being created right here in Pennsylvania.
And we thought it was important while everyone was in town, to gather together and, show that there's some serious numbers here of Pennsylvanians working in this industry.
It just makes me proud to be a part of that and see what we're doing for the state of Pennsylvania.
We have the chance to really make a difference, and we are going to do it right.
Since 2004, we had about 200 employees, and today we have about 1,000.
This whole industry that could bring us below the national average for unemployment, which probably has been the first time in 30 years.
It's a real game changer as far as the American economy. It's creating jobs here in Pennsylvania. It's creating tax revenue in Pennsylvania, which helps all Pennsylvanians, regardless of whether you live in Bradford County or Philadelphia.
It'd be good for the economy around here.
Marcellus Shale has provided not only myself, but my family and my friends jobs and incomes that you could only dream of this day and age.
The Marcellus is a huge opportunity. It is already recognized as the most successful, largest, and most economic, repeatable, large-scale gas play in the United States. Potentially could be one of the largest gas fields in the world.
Everywhere you look in this river town, there is cleanup underway, and a lot of it is courtesy of the natural gas industry. Numerous companies doing drilling work in Bradford County are now doing recovery work in Athens.
They were a big help. They're a big help.
Back in 2005, I deployed to Iraq. I was in the Al Anbar province, Al-Ramadi.
Former Marine Justin Nikolai returned home. He thought he'd have to leave the state for work until Range offered him a job.
It's really been a nice weight off my shoulders having to worry about how I was going to provide for the family, and I really enjoy what I'm doing here.